Welcome back to Studio 10, everybody. The mission of Tampa's Alpha House is to empower pregnant women who've come from limited means or difficult, even tragic situations with the ability to break the cycles of poverty and abuse.
And over the course of the last few months, the Alpha House has seen an incredible transformation. And here to tell us more are Patricia Langford, Executive Director of Alpha House Tampa, a room of her own redesigner Scott Scherschel, and from Marketplace Interiors, Lori Elliott. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Hey, give us some quick background on Alpha House. You're the only, I want to get this right, the only licensed facility in Hillsborough County for homeless mothers-to-be, is that right?
Yeah, we're the only licensed maternity residence in Hillsborough County. We have 23 bedrooms that are specifically for pregnant, homeless adult women and also teens in the foster care system who are pregnant. And they come to us because they have nowhere else to go.
What kinds of backgrounds do you typically see with these women? And are they typically younger women, or do you have a lot of adult women that come in?
Well, I will tell you that over the course of our 30 years, our youngest resident was 12, and our oldest resident, who was with us a couple of months ago, was 45. And they were all in the maternity residence.
Okay.
And our women come in with a variety of tragic, unbelievably trauma-filled lives. And we just had our second annual domestic violence speak out, and the stories you think are sort of these like made-for-TV movie type things, and these are real things that our women are living through. Neglect, trauma, domestic violence, child abuse. It just goes on and on and on. And a lot of the women have all of these things in their life. So they're not just dealing with they're homeless and pregnant, but they're homeless and pregnant, have absolutely no support system, have no mom in their lives, and are dealing with a variety of horrific traumas.
And when they come to you looking for help, you of course want to make them feel as at home and as comfortable as possible.
Absolutely.
We were reading how the rooms had not been redone in well over 20 years.
Right,
I think the late 1980s. And Scott, I bet you just sunk your teeth into this project to get all that 1980s stuff out of there, right?
Well, it wasn't even 1980s. It was more like kind of a like a prison cell or a dorm room. Not to be too dramatic, but
Institutional.
Lots of gray, ladies
But there was
and
a lot.
gentlemen.
The walls were just sort of white, right? And
kind of plain.
Dorm room style.
Yes.
they were pretty sad. Definitely, it was an easy project to get excited about.
And we're taking a look at some of the before pictures there. And when you guys walked in, Scott and Lori, what were the first things that you decided you really wanted to impart for these women? Because the rooms really do help feed positive emotions just by the way that they look and feel.
Right.
And just the colors, too.
Sure,
Colors
the
can
color
have...
scheme.
I just saw it. I mean, it's such a great mission Alpha House serves, so these girls need somewhere to come home to and make it inviting and comfortable.
But it was more of a matter of not just changing the color. Did you change the furniture out as well? And talk about the whole process.
The furniture was really primarily built in, and it really had to stay in the rooms for the most part. So it was what we could do to affect everything else. We could change the color of the furniture, but my particular mission in our room was give the girls something that was cheerful and something to make them feel safe and warm. So it was like their own little home.
And they really look at that. We're looking at pictures now of the redesigns, and these are just adorable. Now, whose room is this?
That one was my design.
This is one of your designs here. And what I think is so cool that you were able to do, Scott, is you made it really a combination of a mommy's room and baby's room at the same time, you know.
We didn't want to focus, we didn't want to make them look like nursery rooms necessarily, because they're more for the moms at this point. The children are infants generally. So it was something to, you know, that the moms could be happy in.
And Patricia, you said there are 23 rooms?
Well, yeah, we've had, right now, 19 of the rooms have been redesigned and adopted, because we have community groups and volunteers who are coming in and accessorizing to the designer's plan, and that's just worked wonderfully. We have one room left, I think, that's up for adoption, and then we also have a semi-independent apartment that we're looking to see if anyone might be interested in continuing this venture, because what we've heard from the designers is, okay, we're done, what's next? And so I think they've really begun to invest in the mission of Alpha House and understand just the positive impact that this has has on our girls.
So
It's
these
just been
rooms are being
wonderful.
used right now?
Oh, yeah.
So what kind of reaction have you gotten from some of the moms that have come in?
It's been wonderful.
Sure.
One of our young ladies thought that it was designed just for her because the colors have been fabulous. But one of the things that we've noticed is when we have to maybe say to one of our young ladies in foster care, you really need to go to your room now, that it doesn't mean anything anymore because okay, because
Some
because the rooms are just so beautiful. And I think it's a different feel when you come in, because your last address might have been a shed or a car, and you come in and see an institutional room. Well, okay, that's home for now, but when you see something that's just beautiful colors and serene and so full of beautiful things to see and touch, it really makes an impact. And there's no
true
reason,
safe haven.
Yeah, and there's no reason why we're a nonprofit doesn't mean we have to look poor. So.
And I noticed there, and I think that was one of your rooms, Lori, that said, "You have my whole heart for my whole life." Was that yours on the wall?
Right.
And that's really, I think, the idea that you all are trying to impart is for these mothers to embrace their children they maybe didn't choose necessarily to have, because I'm sure you have a lot of instances where young mothers come in that were not expecting to get pregnant.
Absolutely.
So there's that need to teach them to be a loving mother. And like you said, so many of them don't come from loving families, so maybe they don't know how.
Right. And that's one of the things that we work on too. We have a program called Parents as Teachers, and we have a senior parent educator who can actually work directly with the girls when they are pregnant. And she works on ages and stages and child development and what to encourage, and she assesses every child that comes in. And last year she did 64 assessments on our children, and 4 of those children had to be referred out for specialized services, and they had those services for a short period of time, and now they're where they're supposed to be. So we're all about healthy births, childhood development. Our foster care girls are getting their GEDs, so it's a wonderful, wonderful place to be, and I'm so glad that we are in the community.
And quickly, you still have one apartment you need somebody to adopt, and is it 1 or 2 rooms?
It's 1 bedroom, just like the rooms that we saw, and then we also have a semi-independent living 3-bedroom apartment with its own little kitchen and living room. So if somebody wants to do a whole kit and caboodle, it's right there.
So if you are an interior designer, or maybe you're just somebody who wants to help out, all you have to do is contact Alpha House of Tampa, and you can do that via their website. You can see it there at the bottom of your screen. It is alphahouseoftampa.org, or you can access it at studio10.tv.
Thanks, everybody.
So much.
Thank you.
Nice work.
Thank you so much.
Now, what can you do with our studio here?
Oh boy, they're never started.
They may never leave.
We'll keep them. Tomorrow is America Recycling.